what's up YouTube, this is Trick News here, comes here another Pokemon Go video. So yes, it is time for Tempest Cup. As you guys know, the Silk Road and many Pokemon leagues we're setting up the Tempest Cup for the month of March. So basically you have from all the way till now to the end of March, try to challenge other players in our special league teams. So Tempest Cup, you can use Flying, Ice, Electric, and Ground type. Now, very special, Ground type is now back from the Boulder Cup. So if you guys have a lot of your Ground type Pokemon that you saved up, you can use that for this cup. And as you guys can see, I already have my party ready to go, and I thought this is pretty good. Still doing some play testing around, but my Tempest Cup won't be till later in March. This first couple weeks I'll be busy with work and some family stuff. Special spring break around the corner, so I'll be on that. The main focus of this video is try to give you guys ideas of what you guys can use on the budget. Here we go. If you guys only want to spend 100,000 Stardust, that's basically the main goal. You want to be spending a lot of Stardust, get over it. Like myself, I try to put myself at a limit of under 500,000, and as you can see, I'm already running pretty low. So yes, this is for the players that do not want to spend that much, and you want to try to get into competing a little against your own members in your group. So yes, this is some ideas to help you guys out. And first Pokemon I will suggest from the Boulder Cup would be Barboach and Whiscash. So biggest Pokemon that you want, very important. Here's the reason why. So we can find a Barboach with a CP of 458 to 468. You'll have to spend at least 31,000 Stardust. But if you can get lucky, you only have to spend about 15,000. However, if you find the wild one with a CP of 570 to 580, you want to get a Whiscash that's between 1482 to 1496. Biggest reason why these are important is because it has a fast move of Water Gun, which is a water type, and Mud Shot. Water Gun is going to be really good against some of the water weak Pokemon, such as your ground typers, and your ground types going to be really nice against your rock types, and will give you some resistance against electrics. Now, the second move only costs you about 10,000 Stardust, so it won't charge you that much. But your charge move, Water Pulse, is very recommended because you're going to get that move going off very fast. So basically baits out your opponent's shield. Mud Bomb, it's a little slower pace. Well, it's more of a medium, but it's actually not that bad, but it'll help you finish off the job. Blizzard, it's a one charge move. It's very slow. It takes a while, so try to be careful on that. It's weak against grass types, so be careful of Tropius, Bottom Snow, and Torterra, as you guys will see. And the reason why this is going to be good is because it has at least 4 coverage on the types of electric, fire, rock, and steel types. So yeah, that's going to help you guys out a little later. And for our next Pokemon, Magikarp to Gyarados. Now, a lot of people say that it's actually not that bad, and I highly disagree. It's actually pretty good. So if you find it from an egg, raid, or wild research, if you find it from a CP of 113 to 120, 120 to be 100%, you'll want to spend about 950 Stardust to just get to be between 1453 to 1491. Fast moves are going to be Waterfall, which is a water type, Bite, which is dark type, and Dragon Tail and Dragon Breath is it's going to be the legacy. So if you have that, that's even better. And same thing, the second charge move only costs you about 10,000 Stardust. And the charge moves, you want Crunch, which is going to be very fast, bait out the shields. Outrage, which is a medium pace, so it takes a while for it to cool down. Hydro Pump takes a while to load, so try to be careful on that. Now, 2 weaknesses to be careful of. Electric, so you got Raichu, Lantern, that's going to be annoying, and Rock type, which is going to be Golems. So try to be careful on that one. It's going to be able to resist water types like Lapras, fire like Charizard, ground like Whiscash, and steel types from Steelix. And a little bit of Magneton, but you gotta be careful if Magneton has electric moves. Alright, so you got both versions, regular and the low, Geodude, Graveler, and Golem. So, biggest ones. From an egg, if you can find a Geodude, that's from 728 to 739, this is going to be a big one. You have to spend 51,000 Stardust, or for lucky, 25,500. Alright, so if you can spend that much, you can, but this is something to look forward to. If you find a wild, that's a big one. As you find a CP of 1002 to 1020, it'll give you a Graveler for both versions. It will be 1474 to 1500 exact. However, if you do find a Geodude, you gotta make sure that's within the 700, just so that way it can get up to the 1474 to 1490 Golem. But here's a couple things to be careful of. Alright, both versions. The fast move, it has Rock Throw, which is a good fast rock type, and Mud Slap for the regular one, and Alolan is going to give you Volt Switch, which is electric. Alright, second charge move is only 10,000 as well, so you'll be fine with that. Now, here's the thing. Charge move, Rock Blast. Both of them have it, so it's going to be very fast, so it's very good at bait off the shields. Dig, which is a ground type move, is a medium pace, and for a low one, Thunderbolt, which is medium pace as well. So those two are very good. However, Stone Edge, basically, it's a one charge move, it's very slow, so try to be careful on that. Weaknesses, this is regular one, it has a lot of weaknesses from grass, ground, ice, steel, and water, whereas a regular one, a lower one, has grass, ground, and water. However, two things to consider is basically for resistance wise, regular one has more coverages with an extra rock. However, a low one only has 3 coverages. Basically, it will take the damage from rock. So just a little bit. Alright, next one we got Elekid, Electabuzz, and Electavire. Alright. From an egg, you gotta be able to find an Elekid with 674 to 689. This will give you Electabuzz to a CP of 1478 to 1500. However, you want to get Electavire, it's not possible because it'll be above the 1500 CP mark. However, if you do want to use an Electavire, you have to find one that's within 1127 to 1136. This will give you an Electavire with 1487 to 1495. Just know that you will have to spend 50,000 Stardust just to give it a second move. So that's why I suggest go with the baby one first. Alright, this will get you Electabuzz and still do the job. Fast moves on both of them, both Electabuzz and Electavire. You'll have low kick with fighting and Thunder Shock with electric. Alright, so that's going to be good. Fighting will actually give you a little bit more heads up because especially with the steel types and ice types around, so that will actually give them at least a good damage in. And it's a fast move, so that way they can't block. But however, you gotta be very careful. You got a lot of weakness stuff here. The second charge move will only cost you 10,000, but you have to evolve it from an Elekid. Alright, so make sure buy the 10,000 Stardust, a second move from 10,000 Stardust from Elekid first before you make your evolutions. Charge move, Thunder Punch, which is electric and it's the fastest one. So be sure to take advantage of it, bait off their shield, and get them going. Thunderbolt, basically this is from the Electabuzz, which is nice, and it's going to be basically a medium pace. However, Electavire has a wild charge. Alright, so I kind of feel that wild charge does more damage, but Thunderbolt has a faster cool time. Alright, that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, you can test it out, but be careful. Thunder's a one charge move and it takes a little bit wild. Alright, weaknesses, both of them are weak to ground types, so be careful if you're Quagsire, Whiscash, Golem, and Graveler, they have ground type moves, but it's going to resist electric types, so you're good on coverages against Zapdos and Lantern, flying types like Alteria, and steel types like Steelix. So this is actually something to look forward to. Mantyke and Mantine. Here's the thing, if you get an egg, if you're lucky to get an egg, if you get a Mantyke from CP of 680 to 710, you'll only have to spend about 28,000 or lucky of 14,000 Stardust to get it to a Manatee with 1476 to 1485. It is not possible from the wild because then you have to spend 75,000 for a second charge move. Alright, the fast move, it has Bubble, which is a water type move, Wing Attack, which is flying, and Bullet Seed, which is grass. Now the Bullet Seed with grass is going to be very good against coverages against those rock types and some other ground types, so it's going to be really nice and give some a little bit of coverage. Now you have to buy the second move from a Mantyke when it's 10,000 Stardust before you make your evolution. Don't forget that. Charge moves. You got Aerial Ace, which is flying type moves, which is very fast. So be sure to take advantage of that. It'll bait out their shields. Water Pulse is just as fast, but the only problem is it has a 3.2 second cooldown time. Whereas Ice Beam is an ice type move. It's really great against those dragon types like Alteria and Flygon. You have a 3.3 second cooldown time. So try to be careful of your cooldown times and the way you use it, because every second, including the 10th of a second, makes all the difference. Weaknesses: Electric. So basically, you got a Mantine that's going to be weak against Raichu, Lantern, as an example. Rock types like Golem. It's going to resist other water types, fire types, ground types, and steel types. So, something to look forward to. Togepi and Togetic. So, if you get it from an 8, a Togepi with CP of 365 to 375 is going to cost you 91,000 Stardust, or if you get lucky, 45,500 Stardust. But this will get you a Togetic with 14,884 to 14,096. Don't make the mistake I did, evolve way too early. I had 100% Togepi evolved to Togekiss without thinking, so try to be careful on that. However, if you do final raid with a Togetic, you want to be basically finding one with 1,147 to 1,220 weather boosted. So be sure to take advantage if you can, find one of those. Alright, fast moves. Yes, Extra Sensory was a psychic type move, and Hidden Powers is a normal type move. Both of them in their own right is pretty good. And I would personally go with Psychic a little bit, try to get some damage in against some that I know is fighting type moves, but it's a personal preference. However, if you want to buy the second charge move, you have to spend 10,000 wins to Togepi. And if you do, your options are going to be Aerial Ace, which is a flying type move, Ancient Power is a rock type move, which is a little slow, and Dazzling Gleam is just as slow, it's a little bit too long. So try to be careful on that. And the only problem is it's weak against all the types in the game right now, in the cup. So electric, ice, rock, and steel, so try to be careful of that. But it does resist grass, dragon, and ground type. So something to think about, maybe. One of the big ones I was very surprised. You have Smoochem and Jynx. If you get an 8, a Smoochem, you want to find something with a CP of 729 to 738. Now, you're only having to spend about 2,500 Stardust on this thing, and if you're lucky, if you're really fortunate enough to get lucky, it will cost you 1,250 Stardust. This will get you a Jynx of 1,487 to 1,496. Fast moves, very big one. You'll get a Frost Breath of Ice, which is very good against your Dragon type ups, so against your Alterias and Flygon. And with the second charge move, you buy it as a Smoochem. This will get you access to Side Shot, which is really good to fake them out, Draining Kiss for a very medium pace, and Avalanche, which is going to be a very good one as well. However, if you do have an Ice Punch, which is Legacy, it's just as fast, so I'll purchase that if you do have the second move if you have it. It's weak against fire types, rock, and steel types, so Charizard, Golem, Steelix will take some damage, but however, it will resist ice types like Lapras and Bombstone. Alright, our next one, we got Pikachu, Raichu's, both versions. Now, here's the thing. If you find it from an egg, you want something, a Pikachu between 265 to 270. However, it's going to cost you 24,000 Stardust, but if you find lucky, it only costs you 12,000. However, if you do find one in a while from all the special events that are going on, you should find one between 615 to 620. This will give you a Raichu 1487 to 1496. The fast moves from both alone and regular is going to get you Volt Switch or Spark. You want to see which one in your personal preference that will give you the fastest charge or the one with the most damage per second. Now, second charge move. Fly from a Pichu or a Pikachu, it's all fine, you'll be fine. If you buy it from regular Raichu, you want to get a Brick Break. Alright, there's a fire type move, so it's really good against ice and steel type. Both of them will learn Gutter Punch, which is electric, and Wild Charge, with a little slower on the pace, but it hits a little bit harder. However, a lower Raichu knows Psychic, which is a little bit too slow, so I would not suggest purchasing that. However, weaknesses, both of them are weak against ground types, so Golem, or either Whiscash will do some damage to them, but it's resistant. Both of them are going to be resisting electric, flying, and steel types. Alright, and from our past Boulder Cup, we have Mudkip, Marshtomp, and Swampert. If you find one from an egg from a Mudkip, you're going to find one between 636 to 644. But the cost of this would be 70,000 Stardust, and Lucky will cost you 35,000 Stardust. That's why, if you can, try to find one in the wild with a CP of 927 to 943. This will get you a Marshtomp within 1478 to 1497. But if you want a Swampert, it won't be possible. That's why, if you want, you gotta find a Marshtomp with a CP of 550 to 560. This will get you a Swampert between a CP of 1477 to 1487. Fast moves for both of them, both Marshtomp and Swampert, will give you Water Gun, which is a water type move, and Mud Shot, which is a ground type move, which hits really hard. Second moves, same thing as the Pikachu. You only have to buy it anytime you want, but it will cost you about 10,000 Stardust. The charge moves, you will want for Marshtomp, which is going to be Mud Bomb, which is fast, and Surf for both of them. However, Swampert will learn Earthquake, which is ground type move, but it's very slow. It takes a while for it to charge, so try to be very careful on that. Weaknesses is they're both weak with grass type, which Tropius and Abomasnow will be a problem, and resistance. So you're going to be able to resist electric, fire, rock, and steel types. So Lantern, Charizard, Golem, and Steelix. So it'll be really, you will have a good match between them. Next one we have is Turtwig to Torterra. Turtwig and Gyarados won't count because they're both grass types. However, Torterra is going to be a ground type, so you can take advantage of that. If you find one for a research, you want to find one between 498 to 508, which will give you, basically you only have to spend about 12,000 Stardust, or Lucky, which is about 6,000. A wild one you want between 570 to 589. This will give you a Torterra that's between 1467 to 1498. Fast move, it'll learn Razor Leaf, which is grass type move, which will be really hard, especially if you update. That allows Razor Leaf to do more damage and recharges up fast. Bite is good, but it's not really necessary for this cup. Second charge move will only cost about 10,000 Stardust. Biggest problem is the charge move for all three of these for Torterra: Stone Edge, which is rock, Earthquake, which is ground, and Solar Beam, which is grass. All three of them are one charge move, and they're very slow. So try to use Torterra as your finisher if you can. However, Stone Edge has a 2.3 second cooldown time, and Earthquake has a 3.6. Solar Beam has a 4.9, which is actually very long. 5 seconds is a little too long to get to your opponent. It's weak against fire types, flying, and ice type. So Charizard, Alteria, Lapras is going to do some damage, and it's going to resist electric, rock, and ground type. So Lantern, Golem, and Whiscash is going to be pretty out there. And we got Charizard, Charmander, Charizard. So if you're very fortunate enough, you want to try to find from a research of a Charmander between 410 to 420, it only costs about 12,000 Stardust, or Lucky about 6,000. A wild one, you want to find one between 480 to 494 from a trade or a wild. This will give you a Charizard between a CP of 1468 to 1486. Fast moves you'll learn is Fire Spin or Air Slash. Both of them are pretty good against in their own right, depending on the typing that you're going to be using. Second charge move only costs about 10,000 Stardust. Now charge moves you'll learn. Dragon Claw was a dragon type move. It's really fast, so you have a good matchup against your dragon types. Overheat is a little bit slow, 4 seconds, a little too long on the cooldown time. That's why you want, if you can, try to find something with Blast Burn. That's from a community day move. I do suggest Flamethrower as well, just in case. However, those two are legacy / community day moves, so you won't be able to find those around. So overheat would have to be your last resort if you have to use it. Now weaknesses, weak against electric, rock, and water types. So Lantern is going to do some damage, Golem's do some damage, and Lapras as well. It's going to resist Tropius, and it's going to pick it off real fast. It's going to resist other fire types like Charizard, and ground types like Whiscash, and steel types like Steelix. So plus it's actually pretty fast. And last but not least, we got Swablu to Alteria. So Alteria has been very well known in the Great League, especially for PvP. So this gives everyone a chance to use it. From an egg, it's not possible. However, if you do find a raid, you have to find one between 374 to 412. But however, you have to spend about 130,000 Stardust, and even with the lucky, it's going to cost about 65,000. This is why you gotta go out, make some trades, go find one in the wild. You will want to find one between 580 to 612. This will give you a Alteria between 1489 to 1500 exact, just like the one I have. Fast moves. You will have a Dragon Breath, which is a Dragon type move. Peck, which is flying, which is actually pretty nice, but I feel Dragon Breath is a lot better. Second charge move will cost you about 10,000 Stardust. This will give you Sky Attack, which has 2-second cooldown time, Dazzling Gleam with 3.5 second cooldown time, and Dragon Pulse with a 3.6 cooldown time. This is going to be to your personal preference on what you want to use. I feel that Sky Attack and Dragon Pulse, in my opinion, are one of the better ones. Weaknesses is weak against Alteria, other dragon types like Alteria, fairy types like Togetic, ice types like Lapras, and rock types like Golem. So those are a few Pokemon you gotta be careful of, but it has a good coverage of resistance for fire, grass, ground, and water. So try to be careful on that. And that is it, y'all. I hope y'all liked this video. I hope this helped you all out. This will give you a good idea of like what Pokemon to start investing on for the Tempest Cup. So try to take advantage of that. And just remember, it's going to cost you all a lot. With 6 Pokemon that you want, it will cost you already on the base of 60,000 Stardust. But I rounded up to 100,000 because you're going to have to spend some more just to power it up. Anyway, that is it for now. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, concerns, please post in the video below. Alright, and I'll see you guys all around. Take care.